edit this shit in.
Yeah, you can edit all that out.
Alright.
Do the same thing on mine.
Ready?
Yeah.
Alright, here you go. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Sonic here in the Love Field Barbershop. This is a new show we're gonna start. It's called Al Chile, where we interview people who have actually gone and beyond through problems, through a bunch of tribulations, through all kinds of shit, and actually have made a positive outcome out of it. The reason I decided to come up with this is because I myself was on probation for 10 years, and my probation officer made me fucking feel like a real fucking dirtbag because she was a fucking bitch. And she made me feel this low. And in reality, I lost a lot of jobs. I lost a lot because of that. Man, you know what? And I always told myself, you know what? If I ever get a chance to help out and talk to some of these people and share their experiences with everybody else, and we can do a positive note on life, this is what I told myself I was going to do. And you know what? I got lucky. I got a buddy of mine. I ran into him, and I ran my idea across to him, and we're going to talk to him. I'm going to interview him and talk to you guys, and I'm tell you about his story. And he's got a great story, by the way. Well, like I said, I'm Sonic. This is Frankie, and this is Al Chile.
We out here, man. Frankbandz, that's what I go by. I'm out of Dallas, Texas, born and raised. And today, man, it's my first interview, so I'm a little nervous, but you know, I've been speaking into the camera for over 2 years now. I got my own YouTube channel also, so I'm a little more comfortable now with the camera. So yeah, man, I'm ready to get this interview going, and y'all stay tuned because it's gonna get good. So don't go nowhere.
Why don't you tell them your YouTube channel, bro, so they know who you are and they can come, hit
Subscribe,
you up.
Yeah. My YouTube's Frankbandz. Well, instead of the S at the end, put a Z. Just put it all together, and I should pop up. Make sure y'all subscribe to my channel, man. I just do daily vlogs. I've been doing YouTube 2 years now, and it's going real good right now for me. So yeah, y'all check me out. Make sure I hit that notification bell also when you subscribe, because if you don't, then you won't get notified on my videos when I drop them. And now I'm dropping videos more frequently. So yeah, make sure I hit that notification bell, and leave a comment below too.
Oh, that's badass. Well, Frankie, hey man, so we're gonna take it back, man. Back. I'm talking about we're gonna go back.
Way back.
Way back to the early '90s, brother. Back when we were kids, man. And I want to ask you some questions, bro. And I want you to, you know, this is like Chile, bro. I want you to just be honest. And if something you don't want to talk about, we don't have to talk about it. But I want you to tell me like your experience, because some of these people don't understand. They don't know. They don't get it because they have never walked kind of like what you've walked. The ideas, the things, you know, it was a certain lifestyle we lived, and
right.
And people don't understand that it was a lifestyle. We came from good homes. Both of us have, you know, mom and dad. You know, yep. Let me ask you, Frankie. So, what did you want to be when you were a kid, man? Like growing up, what was your idea? What did you think you were gonna grow up to be?
I really didn't think I would make it past 20.
Yeah, I believe that, man.
And then going, you know, I was in juvenile at 12, 13 years old. You know, I was going in and out already at 12, so, you know, I got introduced to the jail life at a young age. And, yeah, I didn't think I would see 20, man. The lifestyle I was living, the people I was around, the drugs that I was using, yeah, I didn't know how far I would make it, really. So I didn't really see no future in myself, to be honest with you.
Let me ask you something, Frankie.
At that point, I didn't.
Let me ask you something, Frank. I'm sorry, I say Frankie because out of respect, because I've known this man for over 30-some years.
Yeah, we go way back.
Way back. Let me ask you, Frank. Growing up here in where we grew up,
we're in the
here,
north side.
In the north side, and the heart of Love Field, where we grew up, what were your heroes? What did you look up to, other than you know, you're a kid, man? How old were you the first time, you know, you got in trouble? How old were you?
I would say I was like 12.
12, okay, 12.
Yeah.
At that time, what did you look up to? What were your goals? What did you think? Like, hey, you know, at that moment, at that lifestyle, what did you feel that? Were you living like today was my last day, today, or today we're just gonna do whatever the fuck we're gonna do?
Something like that, because you know, in those times that's when gangbang was still. That's when it was hitting hard. I feel like in Dallas, it was in the '90s. So I don't know if you agree on that or not, but you know,
yeah. I mean, we were pretty.
That's when I took it. That's when I was gangbanging at my fullest. It was when I was a teenager.
How old were you when you got crossed in?
I want to say 14. It was Little Mac that did it.
Yeah.
14, 15.
14, 15.
I want to say 14, maybe 15.
let me ask you, what was your first crime? What did you steal? What was your first thing? What did you?
Oh man, this is I broke into over that night to elementary school.
Hey man,
Me and two of my older friends that I used to look up to, we broke into school. Well, I ain't gonna lie, we got a lot of appliances, about 20 laptops. You know, we got a lot of stuff, but we got caught because they had I didn't know no better. They had a silent security alarm, so I got arrested. I'm a teenager. I was about to go to Mexico with my parents at this time. We were taking a trip like in 4 hours. We were packed up. We were ready to leave, and I got brought home in a patrol car to my parents' house because I got arrested for breaking into a school, and. At that time, I got lucky because I could have went to juvenile. The officer let me go home. I think I got on probation later, but oh man, I didn't hear the end of it at home. My dad whipped the shit out of me. I won't ever forget. We were going on a trip to Mexico, so I kind of ruined the trip for them because that was my first time actually being arrested and coming home in a cop car. And I'm not gonna say who I was with, but you know who they are.
Yeah, kind of. I think we were probably around the corner back then. So
that's where it started, right there.
So after that, bro, after that incident, I remember, bro, seeing you back in the day. You were younger than us, so
right.
I'm older than him, and you were younger, but you were putting in work. I remember. We were young, and we had people coming into our neighborhood from other neighborhoods, chasing us down, shooting at us. They were doing all kinds of crazy shit.
And we're a small neighborhood. You got to remember that.
Yeah, of course. We had maybe about 50 strong guys. And, I'm talking about we raised hell, 50 strong. Maybe half of them did. The other half, to me, I don't think they did anything. They just, they just ran off of other people because they were scared.
Or they had bigger numbers than us.
They had bigger numbers, but, I remember an incident where me and you hung out, and we used to, we got pretty fucked up. We did a little bit of white, and we used to do drugs. But
right.
What I want to ask you, man, how old were you when you first? What was your first drug?
Marijuana, of course.
Marijuana.
Yeah.
You know what was mine?
No.
Cocaine, bro.
Oh, you started off pretty strong.
Yeah, I was 13 years old, man. I was 13 years old when I first did my first line of coke, and I didn't. To be honest with you, I didn't understand it, bro. I just like, what am I feeling? I got scared, and I was like, what the hell? But I couldn't show any real emotions about that shit, man.
Right.
So it was kind of scary for me, man. It was scary for me. But then after a while, it just became a normal thing. Hey, man, let's party. And at this time, we weren't really drinking. We were just doing drugs. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
And it was like, people didn't understand. They say, hey, weed is real easy to get hooked up. Nah, man, it's not. It's not. I didn't want to smoke weed. I didn't like smoking weed. I like doing coke. That was my thing. But I was, I was a youngster. Back to what we're talking about. When you were in the streets, man, what did your parents tell you? Like, what did they, when you would come home at night? Come home at night? Did you ever have to like sneak in and?
Oh yeah, man. Like I said, I grew up with both my parents, both hardworking people, and they've always had my back since I was a youngster. Still got my back to this day. But yeah, I think I was a black sheep, man, in my family, because I grew up good, man. Like I said, I got brothers and sisters. Everybody was doing good. Went to school. I was the only one that was a bad actor, man, since a little kid, since I was this little. So that's what they say. But yeah, man, I had good parents. My mom was always trying to help me out, give me advice, tell me stay away from him, stay away from this dude. But these are the dudes I'm growing up with. So, and some of them were older than me. So I'm looking up to these dudes. And at that time, I'm not gonna lie, man. Most of my homeboys we were just gang banging. Getting in little bullshit. I started stealing cars at 14 with a white boy, Damon Duncan.
Yeah.
I was stealing cars at 13, 14 years old. And
you were pretty good at it. I remember.
I was pretty good at it, but we weren't making no money. We might make a couple $100 here and there, get a radio or something. But we were just joyriding, man, at that time. And I was hanging around with a bunch of bad actors, man, and it rubbed off on me. It wasn't hard, and I just took off from there, man. Just started getting a bunch of shit.
Now let me ask you something, dude. When you got ready to basically you graduated out of the gang, when you basically graduated out of the gang and you were already a heavy hitter, what was your deal, man? Did you like to cruise around and go ahead and just find people and just fuck them up or what?
Nah, I think after the gang banging, man, what really took control of, not a lot of people know this. Well, now y'all gonna know, because I'm gonna talk about my life. So, and for my YouTube, man. You know, y'all don't really know much about me. I know I got over 1,000 followers as of right now. And man, we're really, you know, nobody really knows this, but I'm gonna put it out there because, you know, I'm not like that anymore, and now I'm proud to speak on it. And you know, I was a heroin addict for a couple years.
Yeah.
After the gangbanging, I got into drugs. Like you said, we were doing, you know, I was doing cocaine, marijuana, and then I started doing heroin, hanging around with them people, you know, little Jimmy and them. And so, you know, I didn't think nothing of it. A couple of days we partied, skipping school.
That was normal for us. It was normal for us for us to get up and fucking get high, and you know, it was normal. You know, so you know, I understand you on that part.
But you know, when I realized I had an addiction was that one. I went one time. I went like 20, like a day without having it, and I got real sick. So I called my homeboy, the one I would party with, and I said, "Hey man, I'm not feeling good. I'm feeling real sick. Oh man, you need a fix." So you know, I needed to do more drugs, and I kept doing it, man. As soon as I did some more drugs, I felt great again. So I kept doing drugs. I did heroin for about 4 years, from like 16 until I got locked up the first time when I first went to prison. So I think me going to prison actually saved my life. It made me change like a whole 360 of myself.
Let me ask you something. What happened that made you go to prison? What happened? I mean, I know there's a story behind it. I don't want to get into it, but if you don't mind me asking, if you want to bring it out, what happened that made you go to prison?
I'm not gonna go into details, but you know, I'll give you the story on it. So I was 19 years. I was 19. Like I said, I was on drugs real bad, and it was one of them days where, man, I needed some money. I was on my ass, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was flat broke. Not a lot of people knew that I was broke. This was probably one of the worst times in my like as far as financial status, because I was like damn near like broke. And you know, like I said, I started going through my withdrawals again. The dude that I was with didn't have no money, so we're like, shit, what we gonna do? And you know, it came down to we had to pick up the pistol, man. I hate that it came down to that, but that was like the only option we came up with. And so we decided, let's go do a robbery. You know, I'm with a gun, so armed robbery with a pistol, loaded gun. Well, the robbery went bad, and I ended up shooting my friend on accident during a robbery because the people we robbed they stood up on us. So it didn't go as planned at all. I shot my friend during the robbery, killed him, and I left the scene because I knew there was no saving him. I could have stayed there, but when I seen the damage, I was like, I knew if I stayed there, I was going to get arrested here on the scene. So I left the scene. I never got arrested for it. So I never got arrested for the charge. They knew who I was. They knew that I was they figured who I was like an hour later, but I never got arrested right then and there. And so I was wanted for a murder charge. They hit me for a murder charge, and I went on the run, man. I went to Mexico for a year. I waited 3 days, because like I said, never got arrested, but I know they're looking for me. Cops raided my mom's house a couple times. He's wanted on a murder case. My mom don't know what's going on. I explained to her later, but she's like, "Oh, Mijo, man, this is serious." I said, "I know." So, you know, I didn't have no money. Luckily for my mom and my dad, they did what they had to do. They got a lawyer, but the lawyer was saying it was 20 years. Turning myself in. You know, I'm 20 years old at this time. Think I'm finna turn myself in and come out when I'm 40? I said, nah, I can't do that. Man, they were charging like $15,000 at this time. And my dad said, nah, that's too much. You're still too young. Man, I think you should go to Mexico. So I went to Mexico on the run. I left. And that was before 9/11, so it wasn't hard to get in Mexico.
Yeah. I
went with my cousin's IDs, same age. When we looked different, but same age. Went right in, walking me on the bus back then. Crossed right in. So I went to Mexico on that case for a whole year.
Wow. While you were in Mexico, man, how did you survive out there? I mean, how was it?